Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Brenny. This is my channel, Listen to the Stars, dedicated to astrology, tarot cards, the cards of truth, life coaching, and spiritual topics in general. So if you're interested in any of those things, this channel is for you. And I offer readings and sessions as well as classes related to all those things. Actually, my classes just focus on the cards of truth. But you can check all those out at my website, NicoleBrenny.com, and you can book a session with me. I've been having so many incredible, deep, intense sessions lately with people. I've been really connecting and loving doing readings for people lately. I just have a lot of really, really good energy with that. So now is the time to get a reading with me if you've been putting that off. There are times when I'm just really feeling passionate about it. And of course I do all the time, but especially lately I've been loving it. So please email me or go to my website to book a reading with me if you're interested in it. I feel like it's such good energy right now to really go deep with the different modalities like astrology, psychic work, all of that. If you're interested in studying with me, I have a Cards of Truth class, but I sold out. I sold out the first group. I added a whole second group of seats for the PM class, and that sold out. My classes tend to sell out. So what I was thinking is if you really wanted to study with me and you didn't get in, then just send me an email, hi@NicoleBrenny.com, and I'll discuss some different options with you. But I also want to create a wait list. If there's enough people, I will ensure that I offer this class again in the same way. Typically, I like to evolve what I do and change what I do. But if there's enough interest, I will do it in the same way. Last time I heard it was a huge success. I really loved it. My students loved it. They learned a lot. Some are doing the cards now professionally and doing amazing work with the cards. And so I hope that more of you will have that opportunity. So today I just came on after working all day to just hang out with you guys. And I asked you if you guys go to my community page, I think it's youtube.com/listen to the stars/community. I asked you all what you might want me to discuss today because I went surfing this morning at like 5:45 and I got home and it was already almost 9:30. I have no idea how I surfed that long. And I was feeling like in such a daze that I asked you guys, do you guys have any ideas for me of what I should talk about? Because I was feeling like wavy. There's no better way to describe that. I had totally run out of ideas to talk about. And someone mentioned, can you please talk about Mercury Neptune conjunction, what that means, all of that. And I have a few more minutes of daylight. I thought I would definitely give you guys some ideas. With the exact conjunction, according to my calculations, which I'm just going to look at again, the exact conjunction is going to be happening on April 2nd, where Mercury is going to be combust. And so we have quite a while of dealing with this energy. And I thought, why not give you guys some good ideas of how to work with it? Hello, Renee. Hello, Magic Cat. Hello, August. Nice to see you guys. I know it's not like my regular time, but I had clients all day and I surfed way too long without realizing it. I don't know how I surfed for that long. I look kind of, and it's so hot here. I'm like literally melting. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys some quick tips. Joni Petrie is going to be on my channel tomorrow, and she is going to be talking about the outer planets. So you guys are going to get a little bit more juice about Neptune. So maybe even I will ask Joni, you know, from her sage advice, what she thinks about this Mercury Neptune conjunction for you guys, get a little from another perspective. But essentially, Mercury and Neptune can sometimes cause you to be like deceived by your own, and you can have like weird ideas about things that aren't really true. You can start in things that aren't really true. You can start like having weird self-talk that isn't true. So getting back into like weird mental patterns that aren't true. You can be more easily deceived. You can feel like your thinking isn't clear, or your thinking could be clear, but you can have like a weird emotional reaction to it. And it can just feel more like the energy around you, like illusion or deception or confusion, or maybe even more like you can't totally think clearly because there's too much noise. Like Neptune being this connection that we have to another realm where you're trying to tune in and trying to get clarity. But because Neptune is this, actually I should say, you're trying to think clearly, but your antenna is on and it's intense connecting something else, and there's too much noise coming through that you can't actually hear your own thoughts. So sometimes trying to do things too intellectually or trying to think through something doesn't work. And now I'm laughing at myself when I think about trying to surf this morning for 3 hours, because I used to have this really nice 7-foot board that was really, really nice. Like brand new, this board is $800 something. I got it used, so it was less than half of that price. But it's a really nice board, and it broke. I fixed it and I used it again. It broke again. And that whole time that I had it, I was catching so many waves. Once it broke again, I was like, I probably shouldn't fix it because it's probably just going to break again. And that's going to be hundreds of dollars just flushed down the toilet. But I switched to shorter board, and it's been longer boards are so much easier to use than shorter boards. And I've been trying to think about how to catch waves in a very intellectual way. And I got, just, you guys should see me surf. I was having the worst wipeouts of my entire life, with like water going up my nose, and just the dumbest, like doing the dumbest looking wipeouts you could ever imagine. Because now that I'm saying this out loud, I realize my problem is I'm overthinking it. And with Mercury, with Neptune, it's your thought processes aren't going to work in the ways that they normally do, because with Mercury and Neptune is to be able to access intellectually something greater. Like there's other stuff coming in, there's other noise coming in, and what your logic wants to connect with itself, wants to connect with your own thoughts, your own library, but now there's other libraries available. So what actually wants to happen is the spiritual input wants to come through, and it wants to be into your language. It wants to be communicated. So there's something greater that wants to be communicated. There's something greater that wants to come through and be expressed. And so when you're just trying to access your normal, regular library of what you already know, it's not going to really work in the same way. So for me, giving myself some advice, being my own spiritual advisor here, thank you, Nicole, for accepting my appointment for today, giving myself my own advice. Not having an intellectual approach is probably not going to work. And instead, I should just literally be surrendering to the waves of life and just kind of letting life teach me what it needs to, without thinking about things so much, without overthinking things. So for you guys in general, for if you're a surfer, it's gonna have you first, for like, don't rely so much on your intellect between now and April 2nd and the few days after to really help you. It's not going to be like it's like I said, it's like your mind won't be able to access the same files because there's too much of something else coming through that's greater than you. You're connecting with a greater source. That antenna is on, and it's picking up other stuff, which I'll get to. And so it's going to fail you. Your logical, intellectual way of thinking is going to fail you. You trying to study your way out of a problem is probably going to fail you. It's not going to work in the same way that it always works. Also, check out my Cards of Truth shirt. It's pretty cool. So let's talk about what you can do, okay? What's going to actually work for you. Like I said, with surfing, I should probably just be going out there. And what I've noticed is like, I really feel in tune with the water lately, where like I can just feel exactly where the next great wave is to be, and I'll go paddle there and this amazing wave will appear. So you can actually be relying on your intuition more and your like feminine sense of receptivity to kind of guide you instead of your thoughts. And I found that that is actually working with surfing now that I'm thinking about it. So just really being more intuitive. And then what really works is you can use this energy in a different way in all areas of your life to really maximize it and to get out of the overthinking intellectual process. And I'm going to get to that in a second, but I see a lot of comments that I want to answer in case there are any questions there. I noticed that Pisces energy brings out subconscious things. Yeah, and I should have mentioned in Pisces. So that's where we're getting this subconscious stuff. And also we're getting like, we're connecting to all. So a lot of us could be having similar symbols coming up in our dreams, or similar thoughts, or like we're connecting with the need of all, the needs of all. Okay. Ariel says, funny how as you're talking about too much noise coming through and your connection is going in and out on my end, making it sound robotic. Sorry, you guys. It's probably my terrible internet right now, and my computer's overheating. So sorry about that, but that makes sense. And yes, this Mercury retrograde was so intense. So I wanted to see like how other astrologers were describing the Mercury retrograde, because another thing that happens when we're stationed like this, conjunct Neptune in this way, is that it can be really hard to describe things. It's like you're going to know what you mean, but to put it into words is really hard. But all this wisdom, all this noise coming through wants to be expressed in simple terms and wants to be expressed with words. So I was trying to make it easy on myself and be like, okay, how have other people expressed this? Because I know what I'm trying to say, and it's really, really hard to say it right now because of this strong Neptunian influence. And the one thing that's happening is that this isn't just Mercury conjunct Neptune. We've gone through a retrograde, and now Mercury is stationed, and then Mercury is going to go direct. And then once it goes direct, it's going to be on April 2nd that the actual conjunction between Mercury is. So right now we're in this stationed energy, and someone described this so beautifully on their website. I should have saved their website, but I was just reading a bunch of what he described it, whoever described it, as like Mercury retrograde is like going through a surgery, and when it's staged, you're waking up from the anesthesia. So it's like you go through this whole process and you're like waking up from this anesthesia, and you're just like trying to like come to terms with what just happened. And Mercury moves direct. It's like you're healing from the surgery, you're recovering from the surgery, you're recovering from what you've been through. And I honestly totally feel that. So I wanted to just share exactly what this other person said, because it's exactly how I felt this stationing. And I don't know, we'll see how I feel with the recovery, but that is typically how I feel during the Mercury retrograde station direct period. So like I said, we had family in town, and there's a lot of intense things that came up because everyone got sick except for me. And then that brought out like this weird dynamic between me and trying to make other people happy, but also having a lot of stuff to do with my clients and my work, and trying to find that balance with Rahu and Cancer and Ketu and Capricorn of work and life and all that kind of stuff. And it was really, really intense. And they just left a couple of days ago. And I feel like now I'm just finally like digesting everything that just happened. And it's just like, finally like cleaning our house and getting things in order again and going back into our routine. And it's like waking up from a dream. It really feels like waking up from a dream. It's pretty crazy. And there was so much that happened during that time that was kind of in relation to the last Mercury retrograde, because I went to South America during the last Mercury retrograde. I visited Argentina and Chile, and the family Mercury retrograde were from Argentina. So I was speaking Spanish the whole time, and I was having some of the same weird dynamics between the way I do things and the way that these family members from South America do things. And that same tension came up again. But now I was able to deal with it, hopefully in a better way. But of course, because it's the lessons I'm supposed to be learning, it was really, really hard. So now I feel like I'm waking up from that. I'm coming into awareness again, realizing my role in everything. And it will be for me when moving for myself and with these lessons that I learned. So you can really think of the fact that it's not just Mercury conjunct Neptune, but it's also this retrograde stationing to go direct that we're also dealing with. So we're in a really weird strange time where we're kind of in this period of like grogginess, like what did I just go through, you know, like you just went through something crazy. So you got to give yourself some time and be patient. So what should you be doing during this energy? How can you maximize this energy? You know, because we're in this recovery, we have to be gentle on ourselves. We have to listen to the self-talk, like make sure that how you're treating yourself, what you're saying to yourself is really like healthy and really full and happy, and not negative, because you can get really caught up in the delusions and the lies that you self because you are not seeing things clearly. or because you are feeling bad because of maybe how you handled the lessons during the Mercury retrograde period. And instead just realize that you're processing and that you still have this chance as Mercury goes direct to really finally finalize and solidify your lessons and the way you approach those lessons and how you want to continue your learning moving forward. Maybe even get a chance to rectify things. Okay. So some practical ways to use this energy. What I'm going to do with this energy is I'm really listening to how I speak to myself and how I think. I'm really, really watching my thoughts. And if they kind of go into a more negative place, I'm trying to bring them into a more creative space, to think really creatively and to think inspiredly and to think really spiritually elevated thoughts, using that Neptune to connect with something greater than myself, you know, to believe in a power greater than myself and to have my thoughts reflect that, to have my thoughts reflect that. I'm also being very diligent and careful with any detail work that I'm doing. So I'm doing stuff with my taxes and I'm just going to actually give myself extra time to do them because I want to make sure that I'm approaching them in a way where I'm being fully aware. And maybe now is not going to be that time. I'm giving myself actually a few extra months to do my taxes so that I can really go through things carefully to make sure that I don't miss anything. Then I'm actually working on a book, or actually a couple of books. So I don't want to really say that because it's so nerve-wracking to say that I'm working on something because I want to actually finish it. And I have such a hard time finishing things. So I'm really using this energy to connect with creative ideas and thinking non-linearly and just like connecting with my inspiration and wherever my mind wants to go and not always having to be so like like a perfectionist where everything has to make sense. Like I'm just letting my mind explore other realms, explore other ways of thinking and let divine knowledge and let divine inspiration flow through me and just try to be the vessel, try to be the translator and the communicator of that. And I feel very blessed that I'm writing during this time because Neptune wants to give us so much right now. And during this station period, I think I'm probably not going to feel so much like I can just be writing. I might be more like collecting information, but I will let you guys know how that process goes. I think I still might be able to write, but I feel the station is more of like a building up of energy for recovery, kind of waking up sort of thing. So you might find yourself right now coming to some realizations, making some decisions so that you can move forward. So I think I might be having more realizations about the ideas I've been working on more than anything else. Another thing to do is to engage in watching things that are fantastical, creative, really fun. I highly recommend watching the show The OA. Watch the first Netflix, or you can watch the second season if you already saw the first season. It's so totally astrologically in line with everything we're experiencing right now astrologically. So that would be a really good thing to do if you're just feeling totally stuck, like you can't move forward. Put yourself into a fantastical world created by someone else and let yourself be inspired. And maybe because I feel like that show is so astrologically in tune, it might actually kind of help you to push you a little bit. You can spend until April 2nd watching all these shows and then, you know, move forward after that point, you know, after Mercury gets away from Neptune, kind of move forward with your own inspiration. So I think watching the OA or any other kind of fantastical, amazing movie or show. I also like the Inkle. It's a book, a comic book by Jodorowsky, who had Mobius do the artwork. That's an amazing comic book. You can get it from the library, possibly, or you can buy it. Anything by Alejandro Jodorowsky would be amazing right now. Just anything sort of fantastical that's really coming from a divine source. I also think Dune is a really, really great book that you can read, or you can watch the movie, but Jodorowsky was going to do Dune. And I think even the documentary about Alejandro Jodorowsky's Dune is better than the actual Dune movie. So that is another movie to consider and book to consider. The book is amazing. You're going to love it. And Ender's Game is a really good book too. Also, Ira Levin wrote a book that was a sci-fi book that I really, really loved. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Ira Levin sci-fi. And This Perfect Day. Oh my God, it was so good. You could also read that book right now. So you might just want to escape into something that's healthy, in the sense that you're escaping into someone else's inspiration, and that could kind of unlock your own inspiration. Otherwise, get busy with some paints, with some pens, and maybe it's not going to go anywhere because we're in the station energy, but it will allow you to process this energy in a kind of way. I mean, even today I had to just sit down with my eyes closed for like an hour just to like kind of feel like a normal human being. So you might want to just like let yourself relax a little bit. You know, this is Piscean 12th house energy. Don't be so hard on yourself, and don't push yourself so much. From surfing for 3 hours, and I wish I would have known that I was in the water for over 3 hours, because I would have gotten out. Now I'm sunburnt and sore. So that's my best advice. And I'm going to be doing all those things that I mentioned during this time. And I'm really going to be watching my thoughts. I think that's one of the biggest things, is to watch your thoughts. If you guys like music and you guys are inspired by music, my friend Mark Malman, he just wrote a book called The Happiness Playlist, which is kind of like a way to allow your internal world to change through external stimulation. So he actually like created a whole playlist of songs that made him feel happy, and he wrote a whole book about it, which is kind of also a memoir. And I believe he's an 8 of clubs, so tomorrow is an 8 of clubs day, so that'd be cool. Maybe I should interview him about that, because I feel like his book is actually really spiritual at its core. So you might want to check out his book, The Happiness Playlist. He's an amazing writer, so I'm really happy to promote his book on my channel. But I also think that he is like one of the most incredibly inspired people I ever met in my life. And so if you're wanting to connect with inspiration, he could be a really, really great source of that for you. That book could also be a wonderful book. So there are so many things you can do with this energy. So don't feel like it has you down. I honestly am pretty excited about it myself. I also really love that feeling of like almost waking up and you're like kind of groggy and you're like kind of half in the dream state. So I'm okay with feeling that 24/7 for a while. Also, my readings have been like really intense. So if you're a psychic or a tarot card reader or an astrologer, my whole look is not benefiting. You know, I'm just like sweaty and tired looking, but everything other world, okay? Wow, so many comments here. Okay, with the dreams, I had a scary one the other night, woke me up and triggered me a bit. Yeah, the dreams I've had are really, really intense and really crazy. People love the analogy, and yeah, there's so much magic right now, and it's really creative magic. And people will say like magic comes from your imagination. So connect with your imagination, because magic and manifestation have their root in imagination. And I know that sounds like so stupid and fluffy, but everything starts with a thought. And the people that have come up with the craziest ideas, like the Apple MacBook, like the refrigerator, whatever, these were all like these insane ideas where they stretched their imaginations as far as they could. Like, oh my gosh, what if we had like a car that flew through the sky? You know, that's a crazy imaginative wild idea, but someone had that idea in their imagination that turned into a manifestation eventually. So this is your time not to manifest, but to imagine, imagifest. I'm not trying to create words, but to really imagine things, connect with your imagination, so that when we get to that manifestation part, you're ready and you can manifest something way more amazing than what you're manifesting now. Hopefully I will manifest riding it. I was like trying not to hit people that were paddling in. I was like turning around them. I felt really cool. Okay. So Michael is experiencing something totally opposite of what I'm saying. So I'm interested in that. Self-talk is very important. Yes, yes, yes. I am a Aries rising, Cancer sun, Taurus moon. And Anissa, you're very, very welcome. Everyone's talking about the OA. Yep, the OA is exactly correct. It's such a good show. I never watched 3%, so I don't know what that is. August, Who Lost Their Mind? And yeah, that book is, I need to read it. I can't get it because I'm in Costa Rica, but I'm really excited to see that or read it. I'm thinking about TV and the book at the same time. And someone said, I'm a tarot card reader. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm a tarot card reader and I really had tough times. I told them I am on a vacation these 2 weeks. Well, some people are really highly affected by Mercury retrograde. So yes, that makes sense too. And also, yeah, with Pisces, you could really connect with being in the ocean. And I was telling my boyfriend the last 2 days, like, I feel like when I got into the water, like I'm one with the water. Like I totally had that feeling of being like one with the water, which isn't something I feel all the time, but lately, these last 2 days, it's like, I just felt like I was melting into it. So being near water, swimming, surfing, all these are so, so good right now for you to reconnect, especially salt water, because this is Pisces. Okay. Okay, so let me just see what else. August said I lost my mind. Oh, because I went to the water for 3 hours. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but normally I'm surfing 2 to 6 hours a day. So it's pretty normal for me. When I was a kid, I was a swimmer and our swim practice was 2.5 hours, and I would like swim 2.5 hours and then like work out, or I would swim 2.5 hours and then go to the pool later on. And so this is like normal, something I've been doing my whole life, is being in the water this much. Okay. The other thing I can tell you is, I was going to tell you something else about how you can use this energy, but I think I forgot. Any last questions before I leave? And I'm going to try to remember what I was thinking for you all. I think that's it. So we will have Joni Petri on the channel tomorrow. Mercury retrograde had us rescheduling everyone and everything. I need to get David on the channel still again, the Leo King. You guys love him. He's awesome. So he needs to come back on. And I feel that it's going to be an a-okay time. I mean, Mercury retrograde was challenging. We definitely did predict that, but we all made it through, or almost. We all almost made it through, and we're going to do okay. So the last thing, oh, you guys, if you didn't hear, I made a Cards of Truth calendar. And today's a 9 of Clubs day. So if you want to know the card of the day every single day without me telling you, either on my channel or on my Instagram at listentothestars_, you can get my calendar. It is available at nicolebrenny.com/merch. It's in the description. It's free to all my students, past and present. And if you're not my student, then you can send. Always appreciated and very magical. So you can get your copy of the Cards of Truth calendar. I teach you really how to use it in a very profound way in my class. But since my class sold out, I might also be making some more videos on finding your special days with other things too. I won't reveal everything, but I'm going to give you guys great tips. And I just made a video about the Cards of Truth calendar on my channel 2 videos ago. And you can find your most important dates for the entire year within seconds. And so because today is a 9 of Clubs day and tomorrow is an 8 of Clubs day, where Mercury is stationing, this is really all about using energy also to finish projects that we've started. So if you started a creative project like me and my book, this is a good time to finish it. This whole Mercury Neptune period is a really good time to finish it. And this is just not based off of like anything other than, now that I'm presenting you this information and it's 9 of Clubs day, this is a message that I have for you. The more specific message for is the 8 of Clubs, which is the ultimate card of being influenced by inspiration hit you, impact you, and flow through you. This is the natural law that energy is lost, it is transformed. So letting yourself be inspired by a movie to create a painting, or hearing a beautiful singer and being inspired to create your own song. These are all things. Allow yourself to be inspired, listening to inspiring people, you know, connecting with Eight of Clubs energy is going to be so magical, so profound for all of you. And that's why I was talking about my friend Mark's book, because he is an Eight of Clubs and he was a musician his entire life from the age of 2 or 3 years old. So I always love supporting my friends, but he just happens to be that Eight of Clubs energy that's like true, pure inspiration. And that's what you all should be connecting with for the whole Mercury station period. So that is all that I have to say. I'll put a link to the book below if you guys want to check it out. You don't have to, but that is an Eight of Clubs for you. Another Eight of Clubs is Tanya Harding, the figure skater. So watching some of her videos could be really fun for you, or watching the movie I, Tanya. And just enjoy this energy, enjoy being inspired and in the flow. And I think you guys will have an okay time, an A-okay time. Okay, and if you ever are wondering what the card of the day is, you know exactly where to find that calendar, and it's updated too. So if you downloaded it, like the hour that I put it up there, I corrected 1 or 2 mistakes and now it's perfect. And if you already downloaded it before, you can just download it again. Okay. I love you all, and send me some healing energy for my shoulder because it's still kind of messed up because I'm pushing myself too much. And I hope I get to see you guys in a session soon. So if you ever want like a coaching session or a reading, I would love to meet you all individually. It's so fun to meet you guys and work with you one-on-one because I realize how cool you all are. So let me know if you want a reading, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this shirt, or if you like the ocean, or if you just want to say hello, and leave a comment below about how you plan on spending your Mercury conjunct Neptune time. Are you going to let yourself be deluded? I know that I almost did today. I was crying in the ocean. I just felt like crying. I was feeling so, so sad for no reason at all. The delusion was totally hitting me today. So are you going to do that, or are you going to let yourself be inspired? And Anissa is saying music has been so helpful. Yes, music is so important. And that's what my friend's book is all about, is like, we can influence our internal world by external inspiration. That's like, he's like, literally he's saying the Eight of Clubs. He's saying like, you can make your life better. You can make your world better by allowing the things outside yourself to inspire and influence you. So he surrounded himself with only happy music for like a year or something like that. So definitely a book to check out. The Happiness Playlist, that's good. The Inkle, the OA, Dune. There's your guys' homework. Let me know if you did your homework. Okay. Have a night. I will see you guys tomorrow with the majestic, wonderful queen of Vedic astrology, Joni Patry. Have a great evening. Bye.